friends and companions, weary travelers of the mind, let us embark on a journey into the realm of dreams, where the boundaries of reality and imagination intertwine. As the soft tendrils of evening embrace the world, and the stars begin to shimmer in the velvet expanse of the night sky, allow your thoughts to drift and your consciousness to gently surrender to the soothing cadence of this timeless tale. The sword in the stone. Close your eyes and envision a land shrouded in mist and mystery, a land where legends are born and destinies are woven by the hands of fate. In the heart of this enchanted realm lies a legendary sword lodged deep within an ancient stone. Whispers of its existence have spread far and wide, captivating the hearts of those who yearn for adventure and transformation. At the heart of this tale stands a humble young boy named Arthur, a lad destined for greatness, yet unaware of the path that destiny has chosen for him. With the guidance of the wise and gentle Merlin, a magician of unparalleled wisdom, Arthur's journey unfolds. Merlin, with his flowing robes and twinkling eyes, imparts not only the secrets of the magical arts, but also the wisdom of life itself. Through trials and tribulations, Arthur learns the essence of humility, courage, and the strength that resides within. He stumbles, he falls, but he rises again, growing wiser and stronger with each step of his journey. And as the moonlight dances upon the surface of the still waters, the sword in the stone becomes a symbol of not only physical might, but the nobility of spirit. Listen closely as the gentle melodies intertwine with the tapestry of the story. Feel the soft touch of the evening breeze, carrying with it the scent of distant forests and the promise of tomorrow's dawn. Let go of the worries that tether you to the waking world and allow your mind to wander freely through the landscapes of imagination. As we continue our voyage through the sword and the stone, remember that within these words lies an invitation to explore the magic within your own heart, to seek the strength that lies dormant within, and to embrace the dreams that take flight under the cover of night. In this realm of tales and slumber, find solace, find inspiration, and find the tranquility that awaits in the arms of sleep. And so, my dear listeners, as the music of the night carries you into the realm of dreams, may you find rest, may you find peace, and may you find yourself awakened by the gentle light of a new day, ready to face whatever adventures lie ahead. Until then, sweet dreams. In a distant and enchanting realm, where the mists of time shroud the boundaries between reality and fantasy, a medieval land of chivalry, honor, and enchantment unfolds. Castles with towering turrets rise from the lush countryside, their stone walls holding the echoes of centuries of history. Knighthood is revered, and valiant warriors clad in armor of polished steel ride through rolling meadows and ancient forests. But this realm is not merely bound by the laws of the physical world. It is a place where magic dances on the edge of possibility, a world where wizards conjure spells and mythical creatures roam hidden corners. Amidst this rich tapestry of life, a legend has been whispered through the ages, a tale of destiny entwined with a simple yet miraculous object. The sword in the stone, an artifact of both legend and reality, is said to be embedded in the heart of the land, a silent testament to a prophecy that has captured the imaginations of generations. This sword, wedged within the unyielding stone, holds the power to change the course of history. For it is said that whoever possesses the strength and virtue to draw it forth shall be crowned the true king of the realm. The setting is one of contrasts, where the grandeur of castles and the elegance of court life stand in juxtaposition to the rugged wilderness and untamed magic that course through the land. It is a realm of vibrant colors and textures, where jousting tournaments and grand feasts unfold against the backdrop of mist-shrouded forests and rolling hills. Yet, in this land of splendor, there are shadows as well, ambitious nobles who seek power, mysterious forces that manipulate destiny, and the ever-looming threat of chaos that threatens to disrupt the fragile balance between the mundane and the magical. It is within this intricate weave of history, myth, and reality that our tale begins, a story of a young orphan's unlikely journey from obscurity to kingship, all intertwined with the timeless legend of the sword in the stone. As old as the land itself, the legend of the sword in the stone weaves a spellbinding narrative of destiny and courage. It is a tale that has been whispered by bards and chroniclers across generations, passed down through fireside stories and grand courtly feasts. This legend speaks of a time when the kingdom was plunged into uncertainty, when the land yearned for a true leader to rise and restore harmony. Central to this tale is the sword in the stone, an enigma carved from a rock so ancient that its origins are shrouded in mystery. This mighty sword, its blade glinting with an otherworldly sheen, was driven into the stone by forces unknown, its hilt crowned by the promise of kingship. For it was foretold that only the one destined to be the true ruler of the land, a soul of purity and strength, would be able to draw forth the sword and claim the crown. The prophecy, etched into the collective memory of the realm, declares that the act of pulling the sword from the stone would not be one of brute strength alone. Rather, it would require a unique blend of qualities: nobility of character, unyielding courage, and an unwavering commitment to the well-being of the kingdom and its people. In this way, the sword would act as a divine measure of a potential monarch's worthiness, a testament to the inner qualities that make a true leader. As the years passed, countless valiant knights and aspiring rulers sought to prove themselves by attempting to draw the sword, but each met the same unyielding resistance. The legend, however, persisted, etching itself into the tapestry of the land's lore. The sword in the stone became more than just a physical object. It became a symbol of hope, a beacon of unity for a realm yearning for a rightful king. And so, as our story unfolds, the legend of the sword in the stone stands as a potent force, drawing together the threads of fate and weaving them into a tale of discovery, growth, and transformation. For the one who can unravel its secrets and claim its power will not only ascend the throne, but also embody the very essence of what it means to rule with wisdom, compassion, and strength. In the heart of this medieval land, where legends and reality converge, dwell several characters whose lives are destined to intertwine in ways they could never anticipate. Arthur, young orphan with a heart full of curiosity and a spirit untouched by the weight of destiny. He lives under the care of Sir Ector, a nobleman who has taken him in as a foster child. Arthur's origins are shrouded in mystery, but his humble upbringing has endowed him with a keen sense of empathy and an insatiable thirst for knowledge. Unbeknownst to him, his life is about to take an extraordinary turn as he finds himself drawn into the enigma of the sword in the stone, the fate of the kingdom resting heavily on his young shoulders, Merlin. A figure both whimsical and wise, Merlin is a legendary wizard known for his eccentricities and his deep understanding of the mysteries that permeate the realm. His unkempt appearance and unorthodox teaching methods often mask his profound insights. With his wry sense of humor and knack for seeing beyond the surface, Merlin recognizes Arthur's potential long before the young boy does. Bound by his own connection to the ancient prophecies, Merlin becomes Arthur's guide, mentor, and friend, steering him along the path that will shape the destiny of the land. Sir Ector, a nobleman of stature and tradition, Sir Ector is a devoted guardian to both Arthur and his biological son, Kay. He provides Arthur with a semblance of family and stability, though his focus is often consumed by matters of knighthood and noble etiquette. Sir Ector's heart is in the right place, but his expectations and desires for his own family sometimes blind him to the unique qualities Arthur possesses. As Arthur's story unfolds, Sir Ector is faced with the challenge of reevaluating his perceptions and priorities. Kay, Arthur's stepbrother and a squire in training. Kay is groomed to become a knight, following in the footsteps of his father, Sir Ector. While possessing a strong sense of duty, Kay's ambitions often cloud his perspective, making him prone to arrogance and competition. As Arthur's close companion, Kay's journey mirrors Arthur's own transformation as he comes to understand the depths of Arthur's character and the true meaning of nobility. As the legend of the sword and the stone comes to life, these characters will each play a pivotal role in shaping the destiny of the realm. Their interactions, growth, and challenges will be the threads that weave together a tale of self-discovery, friendship, and the extraordinary power that resides within even the most unlikely of heroes. Arthur's humble background is a cornerstone of his character, a foundation upon which his remarkable journey is built. Born to unknown parents and left orphaned at a young age, Arthur's early years were marked by uncertainty and the struggle to find his place in a world dominated by knights, nobles, and chivalry. Taken in by Sir Ector, a nobleman of respected lineage, Arthur grew up within the walls of Ector's castle, surrounded by the trappings of nobility and the rigid structure of courtly life. Despite his lack of a noble lineage, Arthur was treated with a semblance of kindness and care, though always mindful of his status as a foster child. His relationship with Sir Ector is a complex one. Ector, though providing for Arthur's basic needs, often seemed preoccupied with the concerns of his own family and the weight of noble obligations. While not unkind, Ector's attentions were frequently diverted to his biological son, Kay, who was being groomed to follow in his father's footsteps as a knight. Arthur's sense of belonging was fragile, and he often found solace in solitude, spending hours exploring the castle's hidden corners and observing the world beyond its walls. Arthur's bond with Kay, his stepbrother, was characterized by both camaraderie and rivalry. Kay Kay, consumed by his aspirations to become a knight, could be dismissive of Arthur's interests and ideas. Yet, despite the occasional tension, their shared experiences created a connection that ran deeper than the occasional disagreements. Arthur admired Kay's determination and respected his potential as a knight, even as he struggled to find his own place in a world that seemed predetermined. Arthur's background and his relationships with Sir Ector and Kay formed the crucible from which his character would be forged. The challenges of his upbringing cultivated within him a sense of empathy, resilience, and an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. Little did he know that these qualities would be crucial in the trials that awaited him, as destiny drew him closer to the fabled sword in the stone and a future he could scarcely imagine. One fateful day, while Arthur wandered through the castle gardens, his mind alive with curiosity and his heart heavy with questions about his place in the world, he stumbled upon a figure that would forever alter the course of his life. Seated atop a moss-covered rock, his long beard swirling in the wind like wisps of smoke, was a man unlike any he had ever encountered. Merlin, the wizard. Merlin's eyes twinkled with a mixture of mischief and wisdom as he regarded the young boy before him. Without a word, he seemed to sense the turmoil within Arthur's heart, as if he could see the very essence of the boy's soul. Arthur, awestruck and more than a little wary, could hardly believe the tales he had heard about this eccentric figure who held power over magic itself. Curiosity can be a double-edged sword, Merlin mused, his voice carrying a hint of amusement. But it is a quality that can shape destinies, Arthur stammered, his voice barely louder than a whisper. Who are you? I am Merlin, a humble observer of time's tapestry and a weaver of threads beyond the ordinary. Merlin's reply was enigmatic, leaving Arthur with even more questions than before. With a flick of his hand, Merlin conjured a vision, a shimmering tapestry that depicted events from ages past and those yet to come. Arthur watched in awe as scenes unfolded before his eyes, of battles, of heroes, and of a kingdom in turmoil. And at the center of it all, he saw himself, a figure of profound importance. Arthur, Merlin said, his tone growing serious, the threads of fate have woven a tapestry that only you can fulfill. The sword in the stone holds not only a blade of steel, but a promise of a united kingdom under a true king. Arthur's heart raced, a mixture of fear and excitement coursing through his veins. Me? But I am nobody. But that is precisely the point, Merlin replied, his eyes gleaming with knowing. You are not bound by the constraints of nobility or lineage. Your potential lies in your character, your heart, and your courage. You have the power to break free from the shackles of expectations and claim your place as the true king. Arthur's mind swirled with disbelief, his thoughts a whirlwind of doubts and hopes. Merlin's words seemed almost too fantastical to be true, yet there was an undeniable resonance to them. As the mysterious wizard spoke of prophecies and possibilities, Arthur's world expanded, his identity shifting from that of an orphan to a figure of destiny. With those fateful words, Merlin set Arthur upon a path that would challenge his perceptions, test his strengths, and shape him into a leader capable of ruling with wisdom and compassion. The encounter marked the beginning of a bond that transcended the boundaries of time, as Arthur would come to depend on Merlin's guidance and friendship throughout the trials that awaited him. And so, the threads of destiny began to weave a tale that would echo through the annals of history, the story of a young orphan who would become the true king, guided by the wisdom of a wizard named Merlin. Merlin's teachings were unlike anything Arthur had ever experienced before. The wizard's methods were as unconventional as they were enlightening, often blurring the lines between reality and magic. Through a series of remarkable trials and challenges, Merlin orchestrated a curriculum that would shape Arthur's character, broaden his knowledge, and hone his skills. Lesson of empathy and transformation. Merlin's first lesson involved a transformation spell, one that allowed Arthur to experience the world from a different perspective. With a flick of Merlin's staff, Arthur found himself transformed into a small bird, his wings fluttering with newfound freedom. As a bird, Arthur learned the art of observation, soaring through the skies and perching on branches to witness the world from a new angle. He felt the exhilaration of flight, the vulnerability of small size, and the interconnectedness of all living beings. Through this experience, Arthur began to understand the value of empathy and the importance of seeing the world through others' eyes. Trial of Courage and the Enchanted Maze. To test Arthur's courage and determination, Merlin conjured an enchanted maze within the castle grounds. The maze was filled with illusionary obstacles, mirages, and shifting pathways. Arthur's challenge was to navigate through the maze using his instincts, logic, and courage. He encountered his own fears and doubts, facing them head-on as he delved deeper into the labyrinth. This trial taught Arthur not only the importance of bravery, but also the need to remain steadfast in the face of uncertainty. Quest for wisdom and the Library of Ages. Merlin revealed to Arthur the Library of Ages, a mystical repository of knowledge hidden within the castle's depths. The library contained books that chronicled the realm's history, myths, and secrets. Arthur was tasked with finding a specific tome that held the answer to a riddle of leadership. The challenge tested Arthur's intellectual curiosity, critical thinking, and determination to seek knowledge. As he delved into ancient texts, his understanding of the realm's complexities deepened, providing him with insights that would later guide his decision-making as a leader. Trial of Humility and the Well of Reflection. In a quiet corner of the forest, Merlin led Arthur to the Well of Reflection, a magical pool that showed one's innermost thoughts and desires. When Arthur peered into the pool, he saw visions of glory and power. However, as Merlin cautioned, unchecked ambition could lead to downfall. This lesson taught Arthur the importance of humility and self-awareness, reminding him that true leadership was not driven solely by personal gain, but by a commitment to the greater good. Through these unconventional methods, Merlin imparted essential lessons to Arthur, lessons that transcended the boundaries of textbooks and lectures. Each challenge transformed Arthur's character, broadened his perspective, and equipped him with the qualities needed to fulfill the prophecy and become the true king. As Arthur journeyed through these experiences, the bond between him and Merlin deepened, transforming their relationship from mentor and student into a genuine friendship built upon mutual respect and shared purpose. Despite the extraordinary experiences and lessons that Merlin provided, Arthur's heart remained clouded by skepticism and reluctance. The weight of his destiny, the notion that he could be the true king foretold by the sword in the stone, seemed far too grand for someone who had always considered himself an ordinary orphan. internal struggle. Arthur grappled with an internal struggle that pitted his own self-doubt against the grandeur of Merlin's prophecies. The responsibilities of leadership, the expectations of an entire kingdom, and the legacy of a legendary ruler weighed heavily on his shoulders. Arthur's humility clashed with the magnitude of his destiny, and he often found himself questioning whether he was truly capable of rising to such heights. Fear of failure. As Arthur considered the implications of his destiny, he couldn't escape the fear of failure. The idea of taking up the mantle of kingship and potentially falling short of the hopes and dreams pinned on him haunted his thoughts. The possibility of disappointing those who believed in him, especially Merlin, added a layer of pressure that Arthur was ill-prepared to handle. Attachment to the familiar. Arthur's life had been marked by simplicity and anonymity. The idea of becoming a king meant stepping out of the shadows and into the harsh light of public scrutiny. Arthur felt a profound attachment to his past, to the comfort of familiarity, and he questioned whether he was ready to trade the life he knew for a future filled with uncertainty and monumental responsibility. Unconventional path. Arthur's journey was unlike the conventional tales of heroes and monarchs. He hadn't pursued knighthood or courtly training, and he didn't fit the mold of the noble rulers he'd heard about in stories. This departure from the norm fueled his skepticism, causing him to doubt whether he truly possessed the qualities needed to rule a kingdom. As Merlin continued to guide Arthur, the young boy's reluctance to accept his destiny created a poignant tension. Merlin's wisdom and faith in the prophecy often clashed with Arthur's self-doubt and apprehension. Their conversations were marked by earnest discussions about the nature of leadership, the value of individuality, and the courage it takes to rise above one's own reservations. It was through these honest exchanges that Arthur's transformation began to take root. Slowly, he came to understand that true leadership wasn't about fitting into a predetermined mold, but about embracing his unique strengths and qualities. Overcoming his skepticism and reluctance became a personal journey, one that required him to confront his fears and recognize the potential within himself. And as he grappled with these emotions, he began to see glimmers of the leader he could become, one who would bring his own authenticity to the realm he was destined to rule. Merlin, the enigmatic wizard, recognized the transformative power of empathy and understanding. He understood that to become a wise and compassionate leader, Arthur needed to see the world through the eyes of others. To impart this vital lesson, Merlin employed his magic in a unique and imaginative way, transforming Arthur into various animals, each experience designed to broaden his perspective and foster a deeper sense of compassion. The hawk's gaze. Merlin's first lesson involved transforming Arthur into a hawk. As the wind rushed beneath his wings, Arthur gained a new vantage point of the kingdom. He marveled at the intricacies of nature, witnessed the struggles of creatures below, and realized how interconnected all life was. From this lofty height, Arthur learned the value of observation and how seeing the world from a different perspective could provide insights that were otherwise overlooked. The sly fox. In the form of a fox, Arthur navigated the woods with keen senses and a heightened awareness of danger. He learned to survive in the wild, relying on his instincts to evade predators and secure his next meal. Through this experience, Arthur gained a first-hand understanding of the challenges faced by creatures struggling to survive, fostering empathy for their plight. The noble stag. Transformed into a majestic stag, Arthur felt the vulnerability of being hunted. He experienced the rush of fear and the need to protect his herd from danger. This lesson illuminated the importance of leadership, the sacrifices leaders must make for the sake of their people, and the complexities of maintaining harmony within a group. The humble mouse. As a tiny mouse, Arthur navigated through narrow passages and hidden nooks. He observed the world from a perspective of vulnerability, seeing how even the smallest creatures had their place in the grand tapestry of life. This lesson instilled in him an appreciation for the value of every being, regardless of their size or stature. The tranquil fish. Submerged as a fish in a quiet pond, Arthur experienced the stillness of underwater life. He felt the interconnectedness of aquatic ecosystems and realized the delicate balance required for survival. This lesson reinforced the importance of environmental harmony and the far-reaching consequences of human actions. Through these remarkable transformations, Arthur learned to empathize with the struggles, needs, and experiences of different creatures. He discovered that the world was rich with perspectives beyond his own, and that a true leader must possess the capacity to understand and care for all forms of life. As he transitioned back into his human form after each lesson, Arthur carried with him the invaluable insights he had gained, insights that would shape his character, guide his decisions, and inspire him to rule with empathy and compassion. The hawk's flight. As a hawk, Arthur's first challenge was to navigate the skies, learning to catch air currents and control his movements. He faced the threat of larger birds and predators, honing his aerial skills and instincts. Along the way, he encountered a wise old owl who shared stories of the land's history, teaching Arthur that wisdom could be found in unexpected places. The sly fox's cunning. As a fox, Arthur had to outsmart hunters and navigate treacherous terrain. He formed a bond with a fellow fox named Luna, who showed him the ways of survival. Luna's teachings extended beyond mere survival. She emphasized the importance of cooperation and unity among animals, a lesson Arthur carried with him even after he regained his human form. The noble stag's leadership. In the form of a stag, Arthur faced the challenges of leading a herd through changing seasons and potential threats. He formed connections with other stags, learning about loyalty, sacrifice, and the weight of responsibility. These interactions highlighted the complexities of leadership and the necessity of putting the well-being of others before oneself. The humble mouse's perseverance. As a mouse, Arthur navigated through tunnels and hidden paths. He befriended a mouse named Pip, who had a determination that belied his small stature. Pip taught Arthur the value of determination and perseverance, showing him that even the tiniest of creatures could make a significant impact when driven by a strong will. The tranquil fish's harmony. As a fish in a tranquil pond, Arthur learned to move with the currents and interact with a variety of aquatic life. He formed a connection with a wise and ancient turtle named Elias, who shared insights about the delicate balance of underwater ecosystems. Arthur realized that harmony was crucial, not only in nature, but also in the human world he was destined to lead. Through these challenges and adventures in animal form, Arthur not only overcame physical obstacles, but also learned valuable life lessons. He encountered adversity, formed friendships, and gained a profound understanding of the interconnectedness of all living things. These experiences broadened his perspective, deepened his empathy, and instilled in him the qualities of a wise and compassionate leader. As Arthur transitioned back to his human form after each adventure, he carried with him the memories and insights gained from his time as different creatures. These lessons would guide his decisions, shape his interactions with others, and ultimately prepare him for the moment when he would once again stand before the sword in the stone, ready to claim his destiny as the true king of the realm. As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, Arthur's encounters with Merlin and his transformative experiences as various creatures began to leave a lasting impact on him. Slowly but surely, the veil of skepticism and doubt that had shrouded his heart began to lift, revealing a newfound understanding of the wisdom behind Merlin's unconventional teachings. Seeds of insight. With each challenge and adventure, seeds of insight were planted deep within Arthur's consciousness. As he faced the struggles and triumphs of different creatures, he started to connect the threads of compassion, resilience, and leadership that wove through each experience. The memories of flying as a hawk, surviving as a fox, leading as a stag, persevering as a mouse, and harmonizing as a fish all contributed to the evolving tapestry of his understanding. Recognizing universal truths. Over time, Arthur began to see the universal truths that underlined each of Merlin's lessons. He understood that empathy was not limited to humans alone, that leadership was not about domination, but about guiding and protecting, and that every creature, no matter how small, had a role to play in the grand scheme of things. Arthur's journey through the eyes of different animals had illuminated the interconnectedness of all life, fostering within him a sense of responsibility and reverence for the world around him, a change of heart. Arthur's heart, once burdened by doubt, had begun to change. The weight of his destiny no longer seemed insurmountable. Instead, it felt like a mantle of purpose that he was slowly growing into. The doubts that had once clouded his aspirations began to be replaced by a quiet confidence, a belief that perhaps, just perhaps, he possessed the qualities necessary to fulfill the prophecy and unite the realm. Conversations with Merlin. Arthur's conversations with Merlin also played a pivotal role in his transformation. As he discussed his experiences, doubts, and realizations with the wise wizard, he found a mentor who listened, understood, and gently guided him towards self-discovery. Merlin's insights, often delivered with a blend of humor and profundity, helped Arthur make sense of the lessons he had learned and the changes he was undergoing. Through this gradual process of revelation, Arthur's perspective shifted from one of skepticism to one of acceptance. He began to see the grand design of his journey and how each experience had been carefully tailored to impart specific virtues. As his understanding deepened, Arthur's sense of purpose grew stronger, and he felt increasingly prepared to face the ultimate challenge, the moment when he would stand before the sword in the stone and attempt to draw it forth, not as an ordinary boy, but as a potential king chosen by destiny. A sense of anticipation swept through the realm as the news spread like wildfire. A grand tournament was to be held, a gathering of knights, nobles, and commoners from far and wide. Banners were raised, heralds proclaimed the event's arrival, and excitement filled the air like a tangible energy. The purpose of this tournament was twofold: to celebrate the realm's history and traditions, and to determine a worthy contender who would be granted the opportunity of a lifetime. The chance to attempt pulling the legendary sword from the stone. The tournament grounds, nestled against a backdrop of rolling hills and ancient forests, were transformed into a bustling hub of activity. Elaborate pavilions were erected, brightly colored pennants fluttered in the wind, and the clinking of armor and the trampling of horses echoed through the air. Knights donned their armor, nobles donned their finest attire, and commoners gathered to witness the spectacle that would test the mettle of the realm's most skilled and valorous. The competitions were varied and exhilarating, a showcase of prowess and skill that encompassed jousting, archery, swordsmanship, and feats of strength. The air was thick with tension and camaraderie, as competitors faced off in contests that required not only physical strength, but also strategic acumen. Each clash of swords and triumphant cheer resonated with the history of the land, hearkening back to the days of chivalry and knighthood. Amidst the vibrant tapestry of the tournament, there was an underlying current of hope and uncertainty. Whispers of the sword and the stone's significance reverberated through the crowd, and many wondered who among the valiant contenders might be the one destined to draw forth the sword and claim the mantle of the true king. As the final rounds of the tournament approached, the tension reached its zenith. The participants were driven not only by the glory of victory, but also by the dream of attaining the opportunity to attempt the legendary feat. The eyes of the realm were fixed on the sword and the stone, a symbol of destiny and possibility that stood at the heart of the event. And so, against the backdrop of cheers and banners, the grand tournament unfolded, a spectacle of strength, honor, and tradition that would ultimately lead to the moment when the true significance of the sword and the stone would be revealed to all, forever altering the course of the realm's history. As the grand tournament's announcement swept through the realm, it ignited a fervor of excitement and ambition in the hearts of many. Among those eager to seize the opportunity was Kay, Arthur's stepbrother, and a squire in training. Kay's determination to participate was evident from the moment he heard of the tournament, his eyes alight with the prospect of proving himself on the grand stage. Kay's aspirations. Kay had long harbored dreams of becoming a knight, emulating his father, Sir Ector's legacy, and upholding the noble ideals of chivalry. The tournament presented a chance to showcase his prowess, gain recognition, and prove that he was ready to ascend the ranks of knighthood. For Kay, this was more than a mere competition. It was a path to fulfilling his aspirations and stepping into his rightful place among the realm's noble defenders, Arthur's support. Arthur, true to his nature, stood firmly by Kay's side, offering unwavering support for his stepbrother's ambitions. Despite his own reservations about his destiny, Arthur's loyalty to Kay and his understanding of the importance of Kay's dreams led him to become Kay's most ardent cheerleader. Arthur saw the tournament as an opportunity for Kay to shine, and he couldn't bear to let his own uncertainties hinder his stepbrother's chances of success. Curiosity and destiny. However, amid his support for Kay, Arthur couldn't help but be drawn to the legend of the sword in the stone. The idea that this mythical artifact held the key to kingship ignited a spark of curiosity within him. Arthur's interactions with Merlin had opened his eyes to a world beyond his imagination, and the notion that he might be connected to such an extraordinary destiny left him both intrigued and apprehensive. As the tournament's grandeur unfolded, Arthur found himself caught in a delicate balance. He cheered for Kay's success, celebrated his stepbrother's triumphs, and shared in his disappointments. Yet, beneath the surface, Arthur's curiosity about the sword in the stone simmered. He yearned to know if the legend was more than just a story, if there was truth to the prophecy that spoke of a true king emerging from the trials of the tournament. Amidst the camaraderie, rivalries, and cheers that filled the tournament grounds, Kay's determination and Arthur's curiosity converged, intertwining their stories with the grander narrative of destiny. As the contest unfolded and the moment of truth approached, the brothers' paths would intersect with the enigma of the sword in the stone in ways they could scarcely imagine, revealing the hidden depths of their characters and the extraordinary journeys they were about to embark upon. The grand tournament was a spectacle of bravery, skill, and honor, drawing knights and competitors from all corners of the realm. The challenges and jousts were carefully designed to test various aspects of a participant's abilities, from physical prowess to strategic thinking. As the contests unfolded, they showcased the diverse talents of the contenders and ignited the passions of both participants and spectators. Kay's performance. Kay entered the tournament with determination blazing in his eyes. He displayed remarkable skill in the jousts, expertly wielding his lance as he faced opponents in thrilling displays of combat. His strong showing garnered cheers from the crowd and brought him closer to the grand prize, a chance to attempt pulling the sword from the stone. With each victory, Kay's confidence soared, his dream of becoming a knight within reach. Arthur's observations. Arthur watched the tournament from the sidelines, his gaze fixed on the arena with a mixture of pride and curiosity. He marveled at Kay's strength and dedication, his own doubts and uncertainties momentarily pushed aside as he shared in his stepbrother's triumphs. Arthur's observations were more than passive. They were a reminder of the values he had learned from his time as various animals, the importance of unity, determination, and understanding. Merlin's guidance. Standing beside Arthur, Merlin offered his unique perspective on the events unfolding before them. With a keen eye and a wry smile, he provided insights that went beyond the surface. Merlin's observations transcended the physical feats, delving into the motivations and character of the participants. His wisdom allowed him to foresee the paths that might unfold and the potential consequences of each action. From the sidelines, Merlin's advice often echoed the lessons Arthur had learned through his transformative experiences. He emphasized the significance of unity, the value of courage in the face of adversity, and the need to consider the well-being of others. Merlin's guidance served as a constant reminder that the qualities of a true leader extended beyond mere physical prowess and extended into the realm of heart and character. As the challenges progressed and the jousts grew more intense, Arthur found himself caught between his loyalty to Kay's aspirations and his own burgeoning curiosity about the sword in the stone. The excitement of the tournament was palpable. Each clash of weapons and each victory driving the participants ever closer to the fabled sword that held the promise of a destiny yet to be fulfilled. Amidst the cheers of the tournament and the resounding clashes of swords, Arthur's steps carried him away from the bustling arena. Guided by an unexplainable pull, he found himself drawn toward a secluded corner of the grounds, a place shrouded in an air of ancient mystique. It was there, nestled within a bed of ivy and moss, that he came upon a sight that left him breathless. The sword in the stone. The blade, pristine and gleaming in the dappled sunlight, stood out in stark contrast against the weathered stone from which it protruded. Its hilt was adorned with intricate engravings that seemed to dance with an otherworldly light. As Arthur approached, a hushed stillness seemed to settle around him, as if the very land held its breath in anticipation. Reaching out with trembling hands, Arthur traced the engravings on the hilt, his fingers caressing the metal with a mixture of reverence and trepidation. His heart raced, his mind a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions. The legend of the sword in the stone seemed to converge upon this single moment, and Arthur felt the weight of destiny pressing against him. His gaze drifted to the inscription, a declaration etched into the stone, its words both ancient and timeless. Whoso pulleth out this sword of this stone and anvil is rightwise king born of all England. The words hung before him, their significance resonating deep within his soul. The prophecy, the legends, and Merlin's teachings all pointed to this very spot, this very sword. The realization dawned upon him like a revelation. The moment he had been preparing for, the moment of truth, had arrived. With a mixture of uncertainty and determination, Arthur took a step closer, his fingers closing around the hilt. He could feel the cool metal against his skin, a sensation that seemed to bridge the gap between his doubts and the profound potential he carried within him. With a steadying breath, he summoned all the qualities he had learned, from the lessons of empathy, courage, leadership, and understanding, and applied them to the task at hand. As Arthur's grip tightened, he drew upon the strength of his character and the wisdom he had gained. With a surge of determination, he pulled. The sword budged, ever so slightly, as if acknowledging his efforts. Arthur's heart raced, his muscles straining as he channeled every ounce of his being into the endeavor. And in that pivotal moment, as the sword resisted and then yielded, Arthur felt a surge of energy coursing through him, a connection to a legacy that spanned generations. As the sword slid free from the stone with a resounding sound, Arthur's eyes widened, his breath catching in his throat. He held the sword aloft, the sunlight glinting off the blade, and a profound realization washed over him. A realization that the legends, the lessons, and the whispers of destiny were not mere tales. They were the threads that had woven his journey, leading him to this very point, the point at which he, Arthur, had become the one true king, born of all England. As Arthur stood there, the sword in the stone held aloft, a whirlwind of conflicting emotions churned within him. Doubts and insecurities that he had long carried in the depths of his heart rose to the surface, threatening to overwhelm the sense of destiny that had led him to this moment. The weight of expectations, the weight of the prophecy, the notion that he was the chosen one destined to become the true king, bore down upon Arthur's shoulders. Could he truly live up to such lofty expectations? The legends spoke of a ruler with wisdom, courage, and strength beyond measure. a ruler who would unite the realm and lead it to prosperity. How could he, a young boy with his own doubts and flaws, possibly fulfill this monumental destiny? Inadequacy and humility. Arthur's humility, which had always been a defining aspect of his character, now seemed to morph into a sense of inadequacy. He had been content with a life in the shadows, far from the grandeur of kings and knights. The notion of leading an entire kingdom felt beyond his capabilities. He compared himself to the great leaders of history, to the ideals of knighthood, and found himself lacking. Uncertainty and the unknown. The unknown lay before him, a future fraught with challenges, responsibilities, and uncertainties. The image of a united realm under his rule was a dream he had never dared to entertain, and the thought of making decisions that would shape the lives of countless people filled him with apprehension. What if he made mistakes? What if he failed to live up to the ideals of the prophecy? The contrast with Kay. As he held the sword, Arthur's thoughts turned to Kay, his stepbrother and a knightly aspirant. Kay had long been groomed for knighthood, his path seemingly clear and unmarred by doubts. Arthur wondered whether Kay, with his bravery and skill, would have been a more fitting choice to wield the sword in the stone. This contrast intensified Arthur's internal struggle, casting doubt upon his own worthiness. Amidst the cheers of the crowd and the sense of history unfolding, Arthur felt an acute isolation, an isolation born from his own sense of being ill-prepared for the destiny that had found him. The cheers of the crowd seemed distant, as if they existed in a realm separate from his inner turmoil. Yet, even amidst this inner conflict, Arthur's grasp on the sword remained steadfast. The inscription, the legends, and the lessons he had learned whispered to him. Reminders that destiny was not just about the past, but about the choices one made in the present. And as he wrestled with his doubts, he realized that the qualities he had cultivated, empathy, understanding, humility, and perseverance, were precisely what made him uniquely suited for the path ahead. The tension between doubt and determination, between insecurity and the potential for greatness, raged within Arthur. And as the moments ticked away, he faced a choice, one that would determine whether he would succumb to his fears or rise above them, embracing the destiny that had been set before him. With his heart pounding and his mind a tempest of conflicting emotions, Arthur summoned every ounce of courage within him. The sword and the stone, held in his grip, seemed to pulse with a quiet energy, a connection to the legends of the past and the weight of the future. As doubts and insecurities warred within him, he steeled himself for the moment of truth. With a determined inhale, Arthur's muscles flexed as he exerted force upon the sword's hilt. His entire being seemed to be poured into the effort, his will pushing against the resistance of the stone. And then, as if the very realm itself held its breath, a miraculous thing happened. The sword began to yield, moving with an astonishing ease. The gasps that rippled through the crowd were a symphony of astonishment, a chorus of disbelief that rose like a tide. Heads turned, eyes widened, and mouths fell open in a collective display of incredulity. The sword in the stone that had defied countless others, was coming free in the hands of an unassuming boy. Arthur's breath caught as the sword slipped free from the stone's grasp, a shimmering revelation of destiny and potential. The crowd's astonishment was palpable, a tangible wave that washed over him. He held the sword aloft, its blade gleaming in the sunlight. And for a brief moment, the realm stood still, as if time itself had paused to acknowledge the convergence of history and prophecy. The silence was broken by a single voice, a voice that rose like a clarion call, carrying the weight of centuries and the hopes of a people. "Long live the king!" The cry echoed through the air, and then it was taken up by others, swelling into a triumphant roar that swept through the tournament grounds. The cheers were thunderous, an eruption of joy and affirmation that enveloped Arthur in a sea of sound. Amidst the jubilation, Arthur stood, the sword in the stone held high, a symbol of his destiny and the promise he now held. The doubts that had once clouded his heart seemed to recede, replaced by a profound understanding that his journey, marked by skepticism, lessons, and introspection, had led him to this point. The legends were no longer mere stories. They were the very threads woven into his identity. As the cheers of the crowd carried the proclamation of his destiny, Arthur looked upon the realm he was destined to rule. The sword in the stone, once an enigma and a challenge, now represented the fulfillment of a promise of unity, leadership, and the potential for greatness. And in that moment, as he stood amidst the adulation and the echoes of history, Arthur embraced his destiny, not with the absence of doubt, but with the courage to face it head on. The crowd's jubilant cheers and cries of "Long live the king" echoed through the tournament grounds, a resounding proclamation that Arthur's destiny had been realized. The astonishment that had initially swept through the crowd had given way to a fervent excitement, an understanding that they were witnessing a moment of historical significance. The emergence of the true king born of all England, Sir Ector's astonishment. Among the onlookers, Sir Ector stood frozen in a mixture of shock and awe. The revelation that his own stepson, the young boy he had raised from infancy, was the one destined to be king, was a revelation that sent waves of amazement through his heart. Sir Ector's eyes widened as he looked upon Arthur, the boy who had grown under his care, now holding the sword in the stone. His stern demeanor softened, replaced by a mixture of pride, astonishment, and perhaps a touch of regret for not having recognized the grandeur of Arthur's destiny sooner. Kay's reaction was a blend of surprise and realization. His eyes fixed upon Arthur with a mixture of amazement and recognition. The dreams of knighthood and glory he had pursued seemed to pale in comparison to the revelation that his stepbrother was destined to be king. The camaraderie and rivalry that had defined their relationship took on a new significance, as Kay grasped the magnitude of Arthur's role and the journey he had undertaken. A complex mix of emotions played across Kay's features: pride for his stepbrother, astonishment at the fulfillment of the prophecy, and perhaps a touch of humility as he realized that destiny had chosen Arthur over him. The crowd's adulation. The spectators were not merely observers. They were witnesses to a moment of historical import. Their cheers were a celebration of destiny realized, a recognition of the potential for a united realm under Arthur's leadership. The astonishment that had initially gripped them had transformed into unbridled enthusiasm, a sense of hope that the true king's reign would bring prosperity, justice, and harmony. As they cried out in jubilation, their voices resonated with the echoes of history, affirming Arthur's identity and the promise he embodied. Amidst the chorus of cheers and the outpouring of emotion, Arthur stood at the epicenter of it all, the sword in the stone still held aloft. His journey, marked by skepticism, transformation, and the navigation of doubt, had led him to this pivotal moment. He wasn't just a young boy anymore. He was the embodiment of a prophecy, a beacon of hope, and the future ruler of a realm that looked to him with a mixture of reverence and anticipation. And as the crowd's cheers reverberated through the air, Arthur embraced his identity, his destiny, and the profound role he was poised to undertake. As the cheers of the crowd echoed around him and the sword in the stone remained held high, Arthur's gaze turned toward the sidelines, where Merlin stood with a knowing smile. Their eyes met, and in that moment, Arthur felt a profound connection, a recognition of the role that Merlin had played in guiding him to this point. Amidst the celebration, he made his way toward the wise and enigmatic wizard. Merlin's gaze held a blend of warmth and understanding, as if he had been waiting for this moment to arrive. Arthur approached him, his steps carrying a newfound sense of purpose and acceptance. He couldn't suppress the mixture of awe and trepidation that still swirled within him, and as he stood before Merlin, his words tumbled out in a torrent of emotion. "Merlin, I never imagined that I would be standing here, holding this sword," Arthur began, his voice tinged with a mixture of humility and wonder. Merlin's smile deepened, his eyes holding a gentle reassurance. "Destinies have a way of revealing themselves, my dear Arthur," he replied, his voice carrying the weight of age-old wisdom. "You have faced doubts and uncertainties, and in doing so, you have proven your strength, your compassion, and your capacity for growth." Arthur nodded, his gaze shifting to the sword in the stone, its gleaming blade reflecting the sunlight. "But Merlin, the weight of this responsibility, it's immense. The legends speak of a wise and just king who unites the realm. How can I possibly live up to that? How can I lead a kingdom when I still feel like a boy?" Merlin's eyes bore into Arthur's, their depths holding a profound sincerity. "Arthur, the journey you've undertaken, the lessons you've learned, they have all prepared you for this moment. Leadership is not about having all the answers or never facing doubt. It's about humility, compassion, and the willingness to learn. Your journey isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's about embracing who you are and using your unique strengths to guide the realm." Arthur listened, the weight of Merlin's words sinking in. He realized that his doubts and insecurities were a natural part of the journey, and they didn't diminish his potential to lead. They were challenges to be overcome, lessons to be learned, and reminders of the importance of empathy and understanding. "Merlin, I will do my best," Arthur said, with a mixture of resolve and determination. "I may not have all the answers, but I'll strive to be the leader that this realm deserves. I'll use the lessons I've learned, and I'll work to bring unity and justice to the land." Merlin's smile was both proud and tender. "That's all any leader can do, Arthur. The path ahead won't be without its challenges, but you're not alone. You have the support of those who believe in you, and you have the potential to shape a better future." As the celebration continued around them, Arthur felt a sense of clarity settle within him. His acceptance of his destiny wasn't a declaration of perfection. It was a pledge to embrace his role with an open heart and a willingness to learn. With Merlin's guidance and the lessons he had acquired, Arthur was ready to step into his role as the true king of the realm, a king who wasn't defined solely by his lineage, but by the qualities he embodied and the choices he made. With the sword in the stone's revelation as the true king born of all England, Arthur's journey was far from over. It was just beginning. The euphoria of the grand tournament gradually gave way to the practicalities of leadership and the challenges that awaited him on the path to uniting the kingdom. Training and education. Arthur's first steps as the rightful king were marked by an intensive period of training and education. Merlin, his trusted advisor and mentor, guided him through the intricacies of rulership. Arthur learned about diplomacy, strategy, economics, and the responsibilities of governing a realm. He studied the histories of the land, familiarizing himself with the traditions, cultures, and aspirations of its diverse people. Forging alliances. Arthur understood that a united kingdom required alliances and unity among its regions and peoples. He embarked on journeys across the realm, meeting with lords, knights, and common folk alike. Through open dialogues and heartfelt interactions, he forged connections, listened to concerns, and laid the foundation for a kingdom built on trust and collaboration. Facing opposition, not all embraced Arthur's ascendancy willingly. There were those who doubted his legitimacy or coveted his power. Arthur faced political intrigues, rivalries, and even open defiance from some corners of the realm. Yet, with a blend of shrewd diplomacy and a firm commitment to his ideals, he navigated these challenges, transforming potential adversaries into allies. Championing justice. One of Arthur's key principles was the pursuit of justice for all, regardless of station or birthright. He established a council of wise advisors to assist him in making fair decisions and enacted laws that upheld the rights of the common folk. His reputation as a just ruler spread, drawing people to his cause and strengthening his resolve to create a kingdom where everyone had a voice. Quests and challenges. Arthur's journey was also punctuated by quests and challenges that tested his character and leadership. These trials ranged from resolving disputes to facing mythical creatures, all of which showcased his growth and honed his qualities as a leader. Each challenge reinforced the importance of courage, compassion, and the understanding he had gained from his time as various animals. The Round Table. As Arthur's reign progressed, he established the famous Round Table, an egalitarian symbol of unity and equality. The knights who sat at the Round Table were chosen not based on noble lineage alone, but on their character and their commitment to the ideals of chivalry. This further exemplified Arthur's vision of a united kingdom where merit and honor were valued above all. As Arthur's journey unfolded, his transformation from a skeptical boy into a visionary king became evident to all who crossed his path. The challenges he faced, the alliances he forged, and the lessons he learned formed the cornerstone of his reign. His commitment to empathy, understanding, and justice solidified his position as a beloved leader, a leader who united a fractured land and fulfilled the destiny written in the legends of the sword in the stone. As Arthur's rule began to solidify and his vision for a united kingdom took shape, he found himself facing not only external challenges, but also internal conflicts among those who questioned his legitimacy and sought power for themselves. Among the potential adversaries that emerged, one figure stood out: Morgan Le Fay his half-sister, a woman of cunning and ambition. Morgan Le Fay's ambition. Morgan was a complex figure, possessing a keen intellect and a drive for power. While Arthur had been raised in the court of Sir Ector, Morgan had grown up in a different environment, nurturing her own ambitions. When Arthur emerged as the true king, Morgan's ambitions clashed with his vision for a united realm. Her claim to the throne, fueled by a mixture of entitlement and resentment, led her to challenge Arthur's authority and question his legitimacy. Political intrigues. Morgan Le Fay's machinations were not carried out in isolation. Other ambitious nobles, drawn by the allure of power and a chance to challenge Arthur's rule, aligned themselves with her cause. These nobles questioned the prophecy and sowed seeds of doubt among the people, seeking to undermine Arthur's credibility and rally support against him. Their alliances and covert schemes added an element of complexity to Arthur's already challenging path. Legitimacy. Challenges. The very circumstances of Arthur's birth, shrouded in mystery and complexity, provided fodder for those who sought to challenge his legitimacy. Rumors and whispers circulated, questioning the circumstances of his ascendancy and casting doubt upon the validity of his claim to the throne. This undercurrent of uncertainty created an environment where discontent could fester and potential adversaries could find common ground. The struggle for the throne. As Arthur's rule became more established, the struggle for the throne intensified. Political maneuvering, whispered alliances, and carefully crafted narratives painted Arthur's rule as vulnerable and his reign as questionable. The very unity he sought to bring about was threatened by these internal conflicts, as ambitious nobles and individuals rallied behind the banner of discontent. Amidst this web of intrigue and ambition, Arthur was faced with a dual challenge: to secure his position as the true king and to address the concerns and aspirations of those who questioned his legitimacy. His journey, which had begun with the sword and the stone, now extended into the realms of politics, diplomacy, and leadership, as he grappled with adversaries who sought to test his resolve and the strength of his vision for a united kingdom. As Arthur navigated the intricate web of challenges, adversaries, and aspirations that surrounded his rule, his leadership style and decision-making process came to define the very essence of his reign. Guided by the lessons he had learned from Merlin and the values he held dear, Arthur sought to bring justice and unity to the realm, even when faced with difficult and complex choices. Commitment to justice. One of Arthur's defining characteristics was his unwavering commitment to justice. He established a court of law that treated all individuals, regardless of their station, with fairness and equity. His decisions were not influenced by personal biases or political maneuvering. Rather, they were grounded in a genuine desire to uphold the rights of the common folk and to ensure that justice prevailed. The dilemmas of leadership. Arthur's path was not without its dilemmas. As a leader, he often found himself making choices that pitted the greater good against personal loyalties or individual desires. His decisions were a delicate balance of pragmatism and idealism, of acknowledging the complexities of ruling while staying true to the principles he held dear. Unity amidst diversity. A cornerstone of Arthur's rule was his commitment to uniting a realm characterized by diverse cultures, beliefs, and aspirations. He encouraged dialogue among different communities, striving to bridge divides and foster understanding. His round table, with knights from various backgrounds, became a symbol of unity, emphasizing the importance of collaboration and shared values. Forgiveness and redemption. Arthur's capacity for forgiveness was a testament to his understanding of human nature and the potential for growth. Even when faced with betrayal or defiance, he extended opportunities for redemption. His willingness to grant clemency, coupled with the hope of rehabilitation, served as a model for a just and merciful leader. Ethical dilemmas. Arthur's journey presented him with ethical dilemmas that forced him to grapple with the complexities of leadership. He had to weigh the needs of the present against the demands of the future, balancing immediate solutions with long-term consequences. Each decision he made carried the weight of responsibility, as he considered not only the welfare of his subjects, but also the preservation of his realm's integrity. Legacy of leadership. As Arthur's reign unfolded, his leadership style resonated deeply with his subjects. While he faced challenges and adversaries, his commitment to justice, unity, and compassion earned him respect and loyalty. His story became a source of inspiration, a testament to the potential for a leader to make a lasting impact by staying true to their values, even in the face of adversity. Arthur's leadership journey was a testament to his growth, from a skeptical young boy to a visionary king who navigated the complexities of governance with wisdom and empathy. His decisions, both triumphant and heart-wrenching, shaped the course of his realm's history and solidified his legacy as a leader whose name would be remembered for generations to come. The lessons Arthur learned from Merlin during his transformative experiences played a pivotal role in shaping his approach to leadership and governance. These lessons, rooted in empathy, compassion, humility, and wisdom, became the guiding principles that illuminated his path as he sought to unite the realm and fulfill his destiny as the true king. Compassion as a foundation. Arthur's encounters as various animals taught him the importance of seeing the world through different perspectives. This cultivated in him a deep sense of compassion, one that extended to all beings, regardless of their background or station. As a ruler, Arthur applied this compassion to his decisions, ensuring that the well-being of his subjects remained a top priority. Empathy and understanding. Arthur's ability to empathize with the struggles of others was a direct result of his time as different creatures. He understood that every individual had their own story, their own hardships, and their own aspirations. This understanding allowed him to approach his subjects with empathy, to listen to their concerns, and to address their needs with genuine care. Humility and unity. Arthur's humility was grounded in the realization that true leadership was not about personal glory, but about serving the greater good. His experiences as different animals had humbled him, reminding him that strength and wisdom could be found in unexpected places. This humility fostered unity among his subjects, as they saw a king who was not above them, but alongside them in their journey. Wisdom from experience. Merlin's unconventional methods of teaching, transforming Arthur into animals to learn various life lessons, allowed him to gain wisdom from first-hand experience. This experiential wisdom guided Arthur's decision-making as he drew upon his transformative moments to approach challenges with a broader perspective. He recognized that wisdom was not solely acquired from books, but from living and learning. The round table's symbolism. The the establishment of the Round Table, where knights were chosen for their character rather than their birthright, exemplified Arthur's commitment to humility, unity, and fairness. The egalitarian nature of the Round Table was a direct reflection of the lessons he had internalized from his time as various animals, where each creature played a unique role in the balance of nature. As Arthur's rule continued, his commitment to these lessons became the foundation of his leadership. His compassion guided his policies, ensuring the welfare of all his subjects. His empathy allowed him to make decisions that resonated with the diverse populations of his realm. His humility endeared him to his people, fostering a sense of shared purpose. His wisdom, derived from experiences and reflection, guided him through the complexities of governance. Arthur's reign was marked by a remarkable unity, an alliance between his own innate qualities and the wisdom he had acquired through his transformative journey. The lessons learned from Merlin transformed him into a king who ruled not solely with authority, but with a genuine concern for the well-being of his people. In embracing these lessons, Arthur became a ruler whose legacy would continue to inspire leaders and individuals for generations to come. Even as Arthur grew into his role as the true king and faced the challenges of leadership, Merlin's presence remained a constant source of guidance and support. The bond between mentor and protege continued to deepen, evolving into a partnership that shaped the course of Arthur's reign and solidified his legacy. Wisdom and counsel. Merlin's role as a mentor extended beyond Arthur's initial transformation and training. He remained a trusted advisor whose wisdom transcended the boundaries of time. Arthur sought Merlin's counsel on matters of governance, diplomacy, and the complexities of ruling a realm. Merlin's insights, often steeped in his own vast experiences, helped Arthur navigate intricate challenges with clarity and foresight. Navigating complexity. Arthur's rule was marked by its complexities: internal disputes, external threats, and the ever-present tension between his ideals and the realities of leadership. In moments of doubt and uncertainty, Merlin's guidance provided a steadying hand. He shared stories of his own past, offering lessons from history that shed light on the intricacies of leadership and the importance of staying true to one's principles. Balancing idealism and pragmatism, Arthur's vision for a united realm sometimes clashed with the pragmatism required to address immediate concerns. Merlin's mentorship played a crucial role in helping Arthur strike a balance between his ideals and the practicalities of rule. He reminded Arthur that leadership required both the vision to see the long-term impact of decisions and the adaptability to address immediate needs. A source of encouragement. As challenges arose and doubts crept in, Merlin served as a source of encouragement. He reminded Arthur of the transformative journey he had undertaken, of the lessons he had learned, and of the qualities that had guided him to this point. Merlin's unwavering belief in Arthur's potential bolstered the young king's confidence and reminded him of the strength he carried within. A voice of reflection. In the midst of the responsibilities of rulership, Merlin encouraged Arthur to take moments of reflection, to connect with the lessons he had learned as various animals, and to remember the essence of empathy, compassion, and humility that defined his journey. These moments of introspection allowed Arthur to renew his sense of purpose and ensure that he remained aligned with his core values. Merlin's continued presence as a mentor enriched Arthur's reign with wisdom, perspective, and a reminder of the transformative journey that had led him to this point. Their interactions were marked by mutual respect, a deep understanding, and a shared commitment to the ideals of justice, unity, and compassion. Merlin's role wasn't just that of a teacher. It was that of a confidant, a guide, and a reminder that leadership was not merely about wielding power, but about nurturing the potential for positive change in the lives of countless individuals. As Arthur's legacy continued to unfold, Merlin's influence remained woven into the fabric of his realm's history, a testament to the enduring impact of a mentor's guidance and the profound transformation that could be sparked by a chance encounter with a wise and eccentric wizard. As Arthur's reign continued to flourish, his reflections often turned to the transformative journey he had undertaken under Merlin's guidance. The lessons he had learned from his time as various animals, the empathy, compassion, humility, and wisdom, had become the very pillars upon which his kingship was built. In moments of solitude and introspection, Arthur's heart swelled with gratitude for Merlin's unconventional teaching methods and the profound impact they had on his rule. A grateful king, Arthur often found himself marveling at the wisdom of his mentor's approach. What had once seemed puzzling and eccentric now stood as a testament to Merlin's insight. The choice to transform Arthur into different creatures had not merely been a whimsical exercise. It had been a deliberate journey of self-discovery that had shaped the course of his life and reign. Empathy and unity. As Arthur interacted with his subjects, he understood the significance of the lessons learned from his time as a hawk, a fox, a stag, a mouse, and a fish. These experiences had cultivated an innate empathy that allowed him to connect with people from all walks of life. His genuine concern for their well-being and his ability to understand their perspectives fostered a sense of unity that transcended social divisions. Compassionate ruler. Arthur's compassionate rule was a direct reflection of the lessons he had internalized. He governed not with an iron fist, but with a heart that sought to alleviate suffering and uplift the marginalized. His policies were crafted with a deep understanding of the struggles faced by his subjects, a result of the empathy he had honed during his time as various animals. Justice and humility. Arthur's commitment to justice was inseparable from the humility he had cultivated. He saw himself as a steward of the realm, recognizing that leadership was a responsibility to be borne with grace and integrity. His approach was guided by the knowledge that every individual had value, a perspective he had gained through the eyes of creatures, both great and small. Legacy of transformation. Arthur's gratitude for Merlin's teachings extended beyond his own life. He recognized that his reign had become a legacy of transformation, a testament to the potential for growth that existed within every individual. Just as he had been shaped by his experiences, Arthur aimed to inspire future generations to seek wisdom in unexpected places and to embrace the journey of self-discovery. As Arthur looked back on his journey, from a skeptical boy to a wise and compassionate king, he saw a tapestry woven with the threads of Merlin's mentorship. The unconventional methods, the transformative experiences, and the lessons that had once seemed so enigmatic had become the bedrock of his reign. And as he walked the path of leadership, Arthur knew that his gratitude for Merlin's guidance would forever remain at the core of his being, a reminder of the transformative power of unconventional wisdom and the impact a single mentor could have on the course of history. The bond between Arthur and Merlin was not merely that of mentor and protege. It was a profound friendship that defied the constraints of time and circumstance. Their dynamic was marked by mutual respect, shared values, and an unbreakable connection that enriched both their lives and the realm they served. Kindred spirits. From the moment they crossed paths, Arthur and Merlin recognized a kindred spirit in each other. Despite their differences in age and status, they shared a curiosity about the world, a thirst for knowledge, and a willingness to question conventions. This shared outlook formed the foundation of a friendship that would stand the test of time. Teacher and student. Merlin's role as a mentor gradually evolved into a friendship built on mutual learning. While Arthur drew wisdom from Merlin's vast experiences, Merlin found himself enriched by Arthur's fresh perspective and unwavering commitment to his ideals. Their interactions were characterized by a give and take of knowledge, as each contributed to the other's growth. Guiding hand and trusted advisor. As Arthur navigated the complexities of leadership, Merlin remained a guiding hand and a trusted advisor. Their conversations were a blend of strategic discussions, philosophical musings, and shared laughter. Merlin's insights and unconventional wisdom provided Arthur with the clarity needed to make difficult decisions, while Arthur's unwavering dedication to justice and unity served as an inspiration to Merlin. Shared values. Arthur and Merlin's shared values formed the bedrock of their friendship. Their commitment to justice, empathy, and humility created a bond that transcended the boundaries of their roles. They championed these ideals not merely as rulers and advisors, but as individuals who believed in the transformative power of leadership, rooted in compassion. Enduring support. Through triumphs and challenges, Arthur and Merlin remained pillars of support for each other. In moments of doubt, Arthur found reassurance in Merlin's unwavering belief in his potential. In turn, Merlin drew strength from Arthur's resilience and determination. Their friendship was a source of comfort in the midst of a world that often demanded much of them. A legacy beyond time. The dynamic between Arthur and Merlin became a cornerstone of the realm's history. Their friendship served as a model for leadership that transcended mere authority, emphasizing the importance of genuine connection and shared values. Even as the years passed, their legacy endured in the stories and legends that continued to shape the realm's identity. As Arthur's rule continued to flourish and his legacy spread, the bond between him and Merlin remained an indelible part of the realm's narrative. Their friendship was a testament to the potential for transformation that could be unlocked through the guidance of a wise and caring mentor, and the impact of a friendship that stretched across the boundaries of time and shaped the destiny of a kingdom. Arthur's reign was marked by the realization of his vision, a realm that stood as a beacon of justice, unity, and prosperity. Through his unwavering dedication, the guidance of Merlin, and the lessons he had learned, Arthur's leadership transformed the realm and left an indelible mark on its history. Establishing justice. One of Arthur's most significant achievements was the establishment of a just and equitable system of governance. His commitment to fairness, nurtured by the lessons from his time as various animals, ensured that every individual's rights were upheld. His court of law dispensed justice without bias, and his subjects found solace in a ruler who saw their struggles and advocated for their well-being. The Round Table's legacy. The creation of the Round Table was a testament to Arthur's commitment to unity and collaboration. The knights who sat at the Round Table, chosen for their character and ideals, were united by a common purpose: to serve the realm with honor and to uphold the principles of chivalry. This egalitarian institution became a symbol of Arthur's reign, reflecting his belief in the power of unity over hierarchy. Prosperity. Through diplomacy, Arthur's diplomacy skills were instrumental in maintaining peace within the realm and fostering alliances beyond its borders. He recognized that a realm's strength lay not solely in military might, but in its ability to engage in constructive dialogue and build relationships based on trust and mutual benefit. Trade flourished, and cultural exchanges led to a realm that thrived in both prosperity and diversity, forging a legacy of compassion. Perhaps one of the most lasting impacts of Arthur's reign was the culture of compassion he nurtured. His empathy for his subjects and his genuine concern for their well-being set a precedent for future leaders. His policies aimed at alleviating poverty, providing education, and ensuring the welfare of the most vulnerable. This legacy of compassion continued to shape the realm long after his rule, inspiring generations. Arthur's reign didn't end with his passing. It evolved into a legacy that inspired generations to come. His story became intertwined with the realm's identity, serving as a reminder of the potential for leadership that prioritizes empathy, justice, and unity. Tales of his journey from an uncertain boy to a wise king resonated through the ages, inspiring leaders to follow his example, an enduring legend. As time passed, Arthur's reign became enshrined in the realm's myths and legends. His legacy was carried forward through stories, songs, and tales of valor. The sword and the stone, the Round Table, and the wisdom of Merlin continued to captivate the hearts and imaginations of those who heard the tales, ensuring that Arthur's impact would never fade. Arthur's reign, guided by his compassion, wisdom, and the lessons he had learned, stood as a testament to the transformative power of leadership rooted in empathy. He left behind a realm that had been touched by his vision, a realm where justice flourished, unity prevailed, and the legacy of a once skeptical boy-turned-legend continued to inspire and shape the future. The sword in the stone, which had once been a physical testament to Arthur's destiny, evolved into a powerful symbol that transcended its initial significance. It became a reminder of Arthur's humble beginnings, his transformative journey, and the potential within every individual to rise to greatness through courage, compassion, and self-discovery. A humble origin. The sword in the stone began as a seemingly ordinary object, an enigma that had captured the realm's attention. Its presence in a simple stone marked the inception of Arthur's journey, an unexpected path that led him from obscurity to the throne. This humble beginning became a symbol of the unassuming potential that lay within each person, regardless of their background or circumstances. The transformative journey. As Arthur's journey unfolded, the sword in the stone transformed from a mere object of legend into a representation of his growth. It became a marker of the lessons he had learned, the challenges he had overcome, and the qualities he had honed. The sword itself served as a metaphor for the inner strength and wisdom that could be unearthed through self-discovery and perseverance. A beacon of hope. The sword in the stone came to embody hope and inspiration for the realm. It stood as a testament to the idea that even the most ordinary individuals had the potential to achieve greatness when guided by their principles and values. The story of Arthur's ascent to kingship, tied to the sword's presence, encouraged people to believe in their own capacity to make a positive impact. Legacy of transformation. Over time, the sword in the stone became synonymous with the transformative power of leadership that Arthur had embodied. It represented a journey of growth and self-realization, a reminder that leaders were not born from privilege alone, but from the choices they made and the qualities they cultivated. This legacy of transformation continued to influence leaders who sought to follow Arthur's example. A symbol for all. The sword in the stone wasn't just a symbol of Arthur's journey. It became a universal emblem of human potential. Its story was shared across generations, reminding individuals that they had the ability to overcome challenges, rise above doubt, and achieve greatness through their actions and choices. It encouraged individuals to embrace their own journeys of self-discovery and self-actualization. As the realm continued to tell the tales of Arthur's reign, the sword and the stone's legacy endured. It served as a symbol that bridged the past and the present, a reminder that no matter where one began, the potential for transformation and leadership was a force that could shape the course of history. The sword in the stone's significance transcended time, resonating with those who understood that the journey from uncertainty to greatness was a path that anyone could embark upon. As Arthur's reign reached its pinnacle, the realm and its people found themselves confronted with the inevitable passing of an era, a moment that marked the conclusion of his tale, but also the beginning of a new chapter in the realm's history. Whether through death or other means, Arthur's departure left behind a bittersweet legacy that resonated through the ages. A kingdom united. Arthur's reign had achieved what many believed to be impossible: a united kingdom characterized by justice, compassion, and prosperity. The legacy he had established was a source of pride for his subjects, and his absence left a void that would be felt deeply by all who had been touched by his leadership. Mourning and reflection. Upon Arthur's departure, the realm entered a period of mourning, a time to reflect on the impact he had made and the ideals he had championed. The realm remembered his journey from an uncertain young boy to a visionary king, and the lessons he had learned along the way. The stories and legends that had been woven into the fabric of the realm's identity were retold with a mixture of sorrow and gratitude, continuing the legacy. Arthur's departure did not mark the end of his legacy, but rather its transformation. The ideals he had upheld, the empathy, justice, and unity, continued to shape the realm's values and the actions of its leaders. His round table endured as a symbol of his vision, and the stories of his reign continued to inspire future generations. Passing the torch. Just as Arthur had once been guided by Merlin, the realm now looked to new leaders to carry forward his legacy. The passing of the torch represented a transition, a reminder that leadership was a responsibility that extended beyond a single individual. The lessons learned from Arthur's journey remained a beacon of guidance for those who aspired to follow in his footsteps. a bittersweet farewell. The conclusion of Arthur's tale was bittersweet, a mixture of sadness for his departure and gratitude for the impact he had made. The realm mourned the loss of a beloved ruler, a friend, and a source of inspiration. But in that grief, they also found solace in the knowledge that his legacy would endure, shaping the realm's destiny for generations to come. As time went on, the realm continued to remember Arthur's reign, a time of transformation, unity, and leadership rooted in empathy. His departure was a poignant reminder that even the most powerful leaders were subject to the passage of time. Yet, his story remained alive in the hearts and minds of those who cherished the lessons he had learned, the choices he had made, and the legacy he had left behind. As Arthur's era concluded and his legacy endured, the sword in the stone found its resting place, becoming more than just a physical object. It became a symbol of the legend's lasting impact on the land and its people. The sword's significance evolved from a symbol of Arthur's destiny to a representation of the ideals, values, and transformative potential that had shaped the realm. A place of reverence. The sword in the stone was preserved with reverence, its significance woven into the realm's history. It became a sacred site, a destination for pilgrims and seekers alike, who sought to connect with the essence of Arthur's journey and the lessons he had learned. The sword became a tangible link to a time of unity and compassion, a reminder of what the realm had achieved and could continue to strive for. Inspiration for generations. The sword's legacy continued to inspire generations, much like Arthur's own legacy. Its story was recounted in tales, songs, and chronicles that celebrated the ideals it symbolized: courage, humility, justice, and the potential within every individual to achieve greatness. The legend of the sword and the stone became an enduring narrative that reminded the realm's people of their shared history and the values they held dear. A call to leadership. The sword's presence continued to call forth leaders who aspired to follow in Arthur's footsteps. Those who sought to lead with empathy, to champion justice, and to foster unity were drawn to the sword's legend as a guide and a reminder of the qualities that defined a true leader. The sword's resting place became a space of reflection, where leaders contemplated their roles and responsibilities. Uniting past and present, the sword and the stone's legacy bridged the gap between the past and the present, reminding the realm's people of their collective journey. It spoke to the realm's potential for transformation, and its enduring nature served as a beacon of hope even in challenging times. The sword's symbolism transcended generations, encouraging individuals to find strength in their shared history and to work towards a better future. A living legend. The sword's impact went beyond the physical artifact. It had become a living legend, a part of the realm's identity. The tale of the sword and the stone continued to be told and retold, not as a distant myth, but as a story that resonated with the realm's people on a deeply personal level. Its message of empowerment and unity remained as relevant as ever. The sword and the stone's resting place was not just a location. It was a testament to the realm's history, its values, and the enduring impact of leadership rooted in empathy and wisdom. The legend of the sword served as a reminder that while eras and rulers might come and go, the ideals they upheld could shape the destiny of a realm for generations to come. The realm came to understand that the true power of the sword and the stone lay not in its physical form, but in the belief it inspired, a belief in the potential for greatness within each individual, the transformative power of leadership, and the enduring impact of values such as empathy, justice, and unity, a symbol of potential. The sword's presence in the stone had sparked the prophecy that whoever could pull it out would become the true king. However, as time passed, it became clear that the true power of the sword was not in its weight or blade, but in the belief it stirred within the realm's people. It symbolized the potential for ordinary individuals to rise above their circumstances and achieve remarkable feats. Empowerment. Through symbolism, the legend of the sword in the stone became a narrative of empowerment, a reminder that leadership was not solely the domain of the privileged, but a calling that anyone, regardless of their background, could answer. The sword's symbolism kindled a fire of aspiration in the hearts of those who sought to make a difference in the realm, igniting a belief in their ability to create positive change. Transcending time and place. The belief inspired by the sword's legend transcended the boundaries of time and place. It resonated with people across generations and cultures, reminding them of the enduring nature of leadership ideals that were rooted in empathy, justice, and unity. The legend's impact went beyond the realm itself, influencing leaders far and wide who drew inspiration from its message. Fueling the realm's identity, the belief inspired by the sword became a part of the realm's identity. It was interwoven with the stories of its heroes, the teachings of its mentors, and the principles of its governance. It united the people, serving as a common thread that bound them together and fueled their commitment to values that transcended individual pursuits. A catalyst for change. The belief in the sword's transformative power acted as a catalyst for positive change within the realm. It motivated leaders to champion justice, to reach across divides, and to foster a sense of unity that propelled the realm forward. The belief in the legend became a driving force for progress and a reminder of the realm's potential. Ultimately, the sword in the stone's true power was not in its ability to cut or pierce, but in its ability to cut through doubt and inspire individuals to believe in themselves and their capacity to make a difference. The realm's people understood that while the sword itself may have rested in its stone, the legacy it had left behind continued to shape the realm's destiny, an enduring testament to the transformative nature of belief, inspiration, and the values that defined their journey. Arthur's story, a tapestry woven with the threads of transformation, leadership, and the timeless ideals of empathy and unity, remains a beacon that shines through the ages. Across the expanse of time, his journey, from a hesitant young boy to a visionary king, continues to resonate with individuals and societies alike. As the years pass, the essence of Arthur's tale remains undiminished. It is a story that transcends generations, cultures, and borders, carrying with it a message that is as relevant today as it was in the realm of knights and castles. Arthur's journey is a reminder that leadership is not bound by circumstance, but is born from the choices individuals make and the values they uphold. The lessons Arthur learned from Merlin, the challenges he overcame, and the legacy he forged serve as a touchstone for leaders who seek to guide with compassion, lead with integrity, and inspire with their actions. His story kindles a spark of hope, reminding us that every person has the potential to make a positive impact, to be the change they wish to see. In a world that often changes rapidly, Arthur's story stands as a timeless reminder of the enduring qualities that shape great leaders: humility, empathy, justice, and the belief that even the humblest beginnings can lead to extraordinary destinies. Through Arthur's tale, we are invited to reflect on our own journeys, to contemplate the potential for growth within ourselves, and to draw inspiration from a story that has proven time and again that the heart of a true leader beats with the rhythm of compassion and the melody of unity.